Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Alright, and what I want to get into this morning, is dealing with how the Lord is getting ready to take the reproach off his people, beginning with the elect. Because we're coming into the time, where the Lord is going to redeem, a remnant of his people. 2/3 are going to be destroyed. Okay. But the beautiful thing about the Heavenly Father, eventually 2/3 are going to come back into the kingdom in their glorified state. Okay, but right now it's a major punishment, that's coming to the 2/3 because the Lord has to eradicate the filth of the nation. You see, and that's why the Lord is constantly purging us, putting us through the fire, because he's getting the filth. He's getting rid of the filth that's in us, man. Because he's getting ready to restore a remnant. Okay, and take away their reproach. Okay, and this lesson was inspired by Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 4. It says, "Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame." Because right now, we're as a people we're ashamed. No matter how much individual success you can have as an Israelite, well, you still are under the umbrella of the shameful state of our people. When the world looks at you, no matter, you can go travel around the world and, in the way that Esau has painted, our people here in America, what he has, made the representative of our people, because Esau, the works of our people are overrepresented, because Esau wants to paint an image to the world that this is who we are as a people. And a lot of our people are through. Each generation gets worse, So what this devil, portrays to the world, it has become more and more of the reality of our people, man. Okay? The nigga and the nigga woman, you see? And that's a shameful state. But no matter how much individual success or prosperity, no matter how much you separate yourself, well, we still have to deal with the shame that's on us as a people as a whole. Okay? Because you're only as good as your worst person of your nation, man. That's why, the kingdom is not going to be a thing of individual. It's going to be one righteous royal family running the earth in righteousness, man. Okay? And everybody's going to be on. There's not going to be one Israelite, alright, that's going to be a shame, okay, to us as a people, man. Okay? Every Israelite, okay, is going to be a noble, highborn. They're going to represent excellence. They're going to be a representation of the spirit, the power, and the wisdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Every Israelite man going to be on point. Every Israelite woman going to be on point. The children going to be on point. Okay? So we're not going to have a disgrace amongst us as a people, man. Okay? The Lord getting ready to take that away. And he's gonna do that by delivering the remnant, perfecting the remnant. And through that perfected remnant, he's going to bring forth, a righteous nation. You see? A righteous people. A righteous ruling class family, man. Okay? So you go to Isaiah 54 and 4 again, it says, "Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore." Because just like a woman, who will be put away, that was a very shameful thing for a woman, to be put away. Okay? That was a very shameful thing as a woman. So we're like that woman that's put away in the world. Okay? And when you go into this word reproach, all right, the shame that we have because we're people, because for the longest we've been the people with no head, okay, with no oversight. We just been out here getting how we live as a people. We just been for the streets, okay? That's the reputation of Israel. We're just out here for the streets, for the taking, man. Okay, the tail of this society, you know. When you go here to this word reproach, okay, which in the Hebrew is harapah, okay. It says a taunt, okay. Yeah, it says a taunt, a scorn. You see, a condition of shame or disgrace, a condition of shame or disgrace, man. You know, because you look on the internet, you look at our people. What's the things attached to our people? The usual suspects. Okay, you know, with social media has been the worst thing for our people, man. You know, to where the curses are just amplified and put on display. You know, for the world to see and indulge, man. But the Lord said He will make us a mockery, man, and He did that, man. You know, He made us a mockery as a people. This is a punishment, man. You know, and our people, they know no shame. You know, this generation that we in now, they know no shame. You see, you be shamed for them, but they know no shame. A lot of our people, they know no shame. They say anything, do anything, wear anything, fight everywhere, fight over everything. Okay, you know, no shame. This is a generation of no shame, and this is why the Lord is finna eradicate, you know, 2/3, man. You know, because this captivity was meant to shame us, man. But Jake knows no shame. Okay? So it's to the point where the Lord just has to eradicate the majority and deliver a remnant. Okay? So when you go here, let's go to Isaiah 25. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 25. This book of Isaiah 25 and verse 8. It says, He will swallow up death in victory. You see that? Because we're going to be changed to the coming of Yahushua. Death is going to be overcome. Okay? We're going to be changed into those new bodies. Yahushua is coming to end the concept of death for Israel. You got to think about that, man. Yahushua is coming to end the concept of death for Israel, man, beginning with a remnant. That's what we got to look forward to, man. And look at the times we in, man. The Lord is hastening the times to that. You know, this is what we got to look forward to, man. It says He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of His people shall He take away from off all the face of the earth. All right? For the Lord, Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, has spoken it, man. So that condition of tears, which is a condition of sorrow, man. You know, poverty, you know, violence, okay, dysfunctional family, man. It's a very sad state that we in as a people, man. It's a sad situation, man. It's a sad state. You know, but the Lord's getting ready to end this, man. Okay, and ultimately He's going to be putting 2/3 out of their misery, man. Okay? Because they will only get worse and worse, okay, in this captivity. You know? And the Lord's going to change His remnant. All right? He's going to change His elect. Okay? And take away their reproach, man. Okay? We're not going to be known for welfare queens. Okay? Young niggas. Like, that's the representative of our people. Welfare queens. Young niggas. The sexy reds. The, you know, the goofy niggas, man. Drewski. Like, that's the representatives of our people. A goddamn shame, man. Okay? The worst of our people are the representatives of our people, man. Okay? And that's a shame. Okay? A disgrace in the earth. Okay? But the Lord is going to take that away, man. Our people are going to be known, all right, as the sons of God, the daughters of Zion, man. Okay? We're going to have a very esteemed reputation in the kingdom. Okay? The Israelite is to know an Israelite. The people look at these Israelite celebrities. Well, the coming Israelite is going to be, all right, it's going to have it's going to be esteemed way more than a Mayweather or a Jay-Z or LeBron. The coming Israelite, okay, is going to be far more esteemed and held in higher esteem than the biggest celebrity ever to exist. Michael Jackson, Prince, or whoever you can think of. Whatever the biggest celebrity to exist, well, the coming Israelite is going to be esteemed way more than that. And it's not going to be for physical talents. It's going to be for righteousness, man. It's going to be for honor. It's going to be for the glory. It's going to be because we're an extension of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. You know, it's going to be known that we're those people. You see, when you go to Isaiah 60th chapter, I want to say. All right, you go to Isaiah 60 and 15. It says, "Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee." Okay, so as we've been forsaken and hated, all right, that no one even wants to be around us, man. Even us, man, to the point you can't even be around Jake like that. Large crowds of Jake, certain neighborhoods, and you know, apartments full of Jakes, man. You can't even be around our people, man. You know, because of just how grimy our people have gotten. You know, and you know the other nations for sure don't want to be around Jake, man. Okay. So Jake is a people that's avoided. You see, and then we have to carry that stigma with us, man. That's why, you know, you go into the world, you know, people's first thought is that of the stigma that's been put out. You know, you can tell how people look at you, and then, you know, if it's somewhere that you frequent or you have to be, you know, then they like, oh, you not, you know, it's like, you know, that moment you deal with the nation, it's like, oh, you not like them. You know, and then it's like a whole new person. You know, once they realize, oh, you not like them. And then it's like you get a whole new person, man. Okay, but that immediate, okay, initiation, man, is like real standoffish, and what this nigga up to, what this nigga up to, look, what this nigga on, you know. Then we gotta look at Jake like that, because we don't know, you know. But it shouldn't be like that, man. You know, that's a shame and a disgrace that it's even like that, man. Okay, because Jake, you want to be around your people, but Jake has just gotten so goddamn wicked, so chaotic, man. Okay, because you would rather be around your people. Okay, but the way that, you know, Esau has enchanted, all right, our people, man, it's a nightmare. It's a detriment. Okay, it's life threatening to be around. Okay, our people, man. You know, a lot of our people, you know, all of them ain't like that, man. But a lot of our people, man, it's life threatening to be around them. Okay, but the Lord is finna undo that. Okay, and it says, reading on, and it says, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy for many generations. Okay, it says an eternal excellency, man. So you get this word, excellency. Okay. All right, and the Hebrew word is got one. All right, got one. Okay, and then I think it's the root word. Yep. Or ga'an. All right. Or ga'a. So like a ga'a, which goes into to be lifted up, to be raised up, to be exalted. All right. To gloriously grow up, to increase, to be risen, to triumph. Okay. So we're gonna rise up, above being looked at as a, as a reproach. We're gonna rise above that, man. Gloriously, we're gonna rise above that. We're gonna rise above the stigma. Okay, being a nigga, being a ratchet bitch. Whatever the stigma is about our people, man. We're gonna rise above all that, man. Okay, goes into elevation. Majesty. We're gonna be majestic. Matter of fact, I think that's the word I want to look into, because we're gonna be majestic. Okay, because I ain't looked that word up in a while. So let me get that word up, majestic. So you go into the word majestic. Alright, it said majestic describes something posing great dignity, beauty, or grandeur, often characterized by being noble, stately, and impressively large. Okay? Impressively, So just to see an Israelite in the kingdom, man, it's going to be overwhelming, impressive. Just to see the common Israelite in the kingdom, it's going to be impressive, man. For these heathens just to see an Israelite, man, it's going to be overwhelmingly impressive, man. Far from this state that we in now, this reproach. Okay? Goes into being splendid. Okay? Grand, royal, magnificent. You see, we're going to be that majestic people, man. So we're in that transition now. The remnant is transitioning to becoming the excellency in the earth, man. And we're going to be perfected and completed at the return of Yahushua. So yeah, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified once again. Want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us young brothers. And peace and blessings, salutation, the hopeful Shalom.